when do you feel like the addiction really began to take over? And um, was there a moment when you look back on as a turning point? So was there a point where things tipped, to the bad, and then another point where they seemed to tip to the good?
Yeah, that is a really great question. When I look back on it, it's hard to really have one point that says, "Oh, this was, when the addiction was there." Because early on, my mom was a gambling addict, my dad as well, and an alcoholic, and so being around it at that level, it never seemed like it was a problem. When you grow up with it, so from an addiction standpoint, it was something that was always talked about. My
Yeah.
mom would lie to people and take money and do things. And so for me, just growing up, it was just such a commonality. So I think if I look back on it now, like with the lens of where I'm at now, which is much different than when you're in the moment, I can really see those moments where I lost $5,000 in a day and we couldn't eat. My wife and I couldn't eat for, a month because of it. And I just chalked it up, to something else or a bad run or, just a mistake. But
Cost of doing business.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Those were really the moments. And I know you know this, Dr. Davis, but another thing that I look back at now is all the superstitions that I started to create. When you're in the gambling mindset, there's always a reason. Oh, I watched this field goal happen. That's why he
Yeah.
missed it. So I just won't watch him. So I
Yeah.
think looking back, those superstitions, like when I can trace back why I do certain things, I think that's when I can really tell that the addiction grabbed hold, but I at in the moment had no clue, you know what I mean, for
Yeah.
decades later. But looking back, yeah, I think it's those are some identifying points.